Things are so much better since this year with James and Brandy just stepping up for the plate right from the get-go to kind of help manage things for me. It's just been so much better. Some people forget that I was 30 years old when Sherry first came up with the idea of us doing this thing. Back then, losing a night's sleep or playing games for hours on end, that was something I enjoyed more than these kids. But man, my mind still feels young. But this old body.
Yeah, I know about that old body thing. So, how many years have we been doing this?
33 years. You know, when we started doing this, World Vision used to call this thing the planned famine. They switched over to calling it the 30-hour famine about 22 years ago. But I still get these calls every year asking us if we're going to do the 30-hour famine and thanking us for doing the 30-hour famine since 1992. And I always get these young kids on the phone, and I say to them, hey, we've been doing this thing since 1982. I don't think they really care because most of them weren't even born back then.
Well, honey, I'm not sure. I don't know if we maybe should think about, not doing this again next year. I mean, it always comes at the same time as the Samaritan's Purse boxes, as the mitten tree, as the angel gifts that we give to the families, as the bell ringing. I mean, it might be time to, think about, folks get burned out.
Yeah, that sure is easy to happen, isn't it? I guess maybe I'll talk about it with the deacon board at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we just overheard you say you might not do the famine again. What's up with that?
Yeah, and talking about people getting burned out with all these ways to extend the love of Jesus to others here and far away. What's up with that?
Are you guys forgetting that 870 million people in the world are hungry? That's 1 out of every 8 people in the world. Or think of it this way. That's nearly 3 times the population of the United States that goes to bed every night hungry. And they wake up hungry too. Neither one of you guys look like you miss too many meals. In fact, no one here does. But didn't Jesus tell us to love our neighbors as ourselves? If I was hungry, I sure would want you guys to help me out. So what's up with that?
Yeah, and you know how I love little kids. Do you know that 19,000 kids under 5 years old die every day from hunger and malnutrition? 19,000 kids under 5. If my math is right, that is about 1 every 4.5 seconds dying. It's not like anyone can blame them on being lazy or something. 19,000 under 5. Now that's not going to happen when we pray to any of our church kids. But what if any of us had by God's providence been born somewhere that food is scarce? Wouldn't we want folks to be helping out our kids? Are you guys forgetting that Jesus said that as we care for the least of these, his brothers and sisters, we are caring for him? I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah, and 1 in 5 people in developing world survive on less than $1.25 a day. $1.25 a day? How would you boys look? Andrew. Would like to try to get by on that. That's a burger from a dollar menu, or a bag of chips, or maybe a couple of apples. I mean, that wouldn't keep any of us thinking like we were doing anything but starving for even a day, yet alone for a lifetime.
Yeah, and if you spend all your money on food, how do you pay for shelter or school or healthcare or clothes? You don't. So how are you fellas thinking that these folks are going to make it unless we give them a little bit from our surplus? What's up with that?
Yeah, from our surplus. For all those things you two were mentioning our church does, I haven't exactly seen anyone hurting because they gave away too much. I mean, it's really cool all the stuff that we've got going on here, but I think Jesus would say that we should be looking for ways to do more, not less, and do it all year, not just now. What's up with that?
Well, we didn't really mean...
No, we weren't really saying.
No, we sure weren't.
Hey, we don't want to come down too hard on you guys. I mean, 33 years of doing this is really quite an accomplishment. And what's the figure? Something like 80,000 that we have raised over the years? That's a lot of lives blessed. I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah, and have you guys seen this graph of the difference programs like this are making in the world? Alan Fox has a graph he's going to show. It shows that from 1960, when more than 54,000 children under 5 years of age were dying every day, we have gone steadily down to the figure James mentioned a little while ago of 19,000. I mean, that's still way too many kids dying of hunger and malnutrition, but it's just a little more than a third as many as 40 years ago. What's up with that?
Yeah, that is awesome.
You know, you guys really inspire me to keep on keeping on. What's with that? All right, men. Here they come.
Looks like they are loaded down with wealth.
Yeah, we should be able to feed half the poor of Nottingham for a year with what we take from these guys.
Aha! I am Robin Hood. I and my band of merry men here were falsely accused of various crimes by the evil sheriff of Nottingham years ago. So now we live in the rough comforts of Sherwood Forest. Ah, yes, committed to taking the rich from the rich, taxing them who pass by in order that we can feed the starving masses of the town and countryside. So, please be so kind as to share your purse with us. I'm sure you have plenty more where that come from. And then you may be on your way with our best wishes.
You outlaws are all alike. How do I know you're sharing with the poor and not stockpiling the wealth for yourself?
Why, you have my word on it. And I am Robin Hood, friend of the poor. Now, off with you.
Look, Rob, another band of travelers and looking more loaded down with money than ever.
Men, take your positions. Ha-ha! I am Robin Hood, and this is my band of merry men, blah, 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 blah. So, please be so kind as to share your purse with us. I'm sure you have plenty more where that came from, and then you may be off with our best wishes.
And I am a man of the church, God's agent on my way to distribute.
And I, sir, am a man of the church, God's agent on my way to distribute this wealth to the poor of Nottingham. Out of my way.
Just how do we know that you are going to share that money with the poor and not keep it for yourself?
Did not Jesus say, as you do unto the least of these, my brethren, you do unto me?
Yeah?
Well, then you're just going to have to trust me on it, that's all.
Well, if you're going to share it with the poor, how come you are wearing the most wealth?
Okay, you're right. I have been greedy, selfish, and unrepentant. Now, I vow to change my ways and join you in the green of Sherwood Forest. From this day forth, just call me Friar Dorian.
Ah, what a great life, amen?
Do you think whenever they get the poll of popular opinion someday, folks will think of us, Robin?
Of course they'll think well of us. Are you kidding? Why, it won't be long before they'll be writing books and making movies and TV shows about us. We'll be heroes. They'll probably even come up with some little ditty about us. Robs from the rich, gives to the poor. Robin, every parent will want to encourage their kids to be just like us.
Well, they will encourage them at least until someone figures out that they themselves are the rich.
I think he's got a point there, Robin. This robbing from the rich and given to the poor is heroic. So as long as there's no halves, as everyone else thinks you are, loaded down as bucks.
Yeah, I'll bet future generations are gonna make us out to be heroes, while they hope and pray no heroes like us really come along. That way, they get to think and dream notable thoughts and still hold on to their money.
Perhaps you merry men are right. Maybe we should work out a new routine.
Look, here come some more travelers.
Take your positions, men. Ha! My name is Robin Hood, and these are my men from Sherwood Forest, blah, 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 blah. My men and I are giving up our robbing ways and going straight. How about a donation to the 30-hour famine?
But, well, I guess I'll go out for my entertainment.
If you like, but give away all your extra clothes except for one outfit, your oldest. And keep one pair of shoes for the head of the family.
You mean everybody else goes barefoot? My brother might like that for a while, but I don't know about me. What else?
Shut off your electricity, your water, your gas. Think of all the money you'll save. Oh, and disconnect the phone, don't forget that.
Phone? How will we run the dishwasher, toaster, hair dryer?
Send them to Goodwill. You can't afford those on $100 a year. And as for bass, just use the rain.
How will we cook?
Simple. Just gather scraps of wood and things that'll burn. It's amazing how much waste wood you'll find if you try. And donate most of your food to a crisis shelter. Leave only a small bag of flour, some sugar, some salt, a few moldy potatoes, a handful of onions, and some dried beans. Meal planning becomes a breeze.
Is that a balanced diet?
Friend, on $100 a year, you can't always have a balanced diet.
But what if I get sick? I can't even call a doctor. No phone.
Oh, just run to the midwife in a clinic about 10 minutes away. Half the world does. And if you need a doctor, there's one farther down the road.
How long would it take to get to a doctor? Driving, I mean.
Driving? Oh, I forgot. You'll need to give up your car, too. They eat up your income.
What do we do with the garage? Rent it out?
No, live in it, of course. You get rid of your house, too. Of course, your garage is larger than the ordinary house allowed in this program. But since you don't have a tool shed, I guess.
Hey, this isn't living. What do I do about my job? I can't walk there on an empty stomach in my oldest clothes without a bath and expect them to let me stay very long. I suppose this program thought of that too.
Of course. Your best bet is to become a tenant farmer. With 3 acres and a good year, you can expect from $100 to $300 worth of cash crops every year. Once you pay the landlord a third of your money, and the money lender 10% as well, you get what's left.
Money lender? Oh, come on. Why do I need a money lender?
Well, see, some of these years, you'll have a drought or a flood, and then you won't get your $100 a year. And you need $100 a year to live on this program effectively.
Yeah, I can see I do. What about saving for my old age?
About that. There's good news and bad news. See, you can't afford insurance, of course, or pension plans or saving accounts. So that's the bad news, right? But the good news is that you won't need them.
Yeah, why not?
Well, because under this program, you can count on living 25 to 30 years less than normal.
Oh, that's great. Hey, look, forget about it, okay? I appreciate you trying to help and all, but suddenly, I don't think I need help after all. My bills look pretty small. That's not living. It's barely existing. In fact, I'm not sure how people could live like that.
Unfortunately, millions do. As I said before, half of the people in our world live on this program year in and year out. They didn't choose it, but they're stuck with it. In our economy, we really can't live on $100 a year. But could we live on $100 a year less? Would that really require sacrifice? I mean, that's only $9 a month or $2 a week. Yet we could just think of what we could do for the world's hunger problem if each person or even each family in this room gave $100 a year to fight hunger.
Man, I sure am glad the famine finally got here this year.
Are you kidding me? Do you mean you actually enjoy going without food for 30 hours?
Nah, but at least it gives us a break from another week of Pastor Dorian talking about the Jesus Storybook Bible and how every story whispers his name. I mean, is that guy ever gonna give it a rest?
I'm feeling your pain. I never said anything about it because I thought I might be the only one in the whole church who thought that way. I've been afraid all weekend that he might make us do a study about hunger issues from the Jesus Storybook Bible.
Since the first Sunday in February, that's all we've heard. At least on Famine Sunday, we know we won't be hearing one more sermon on the Storybook Bible.
Yeah, that's why I slipped outside here. I'm still a little afraid that if he finds me, he's going to ask me to be in a skit based on the Storybook Bible.
Hey, there you guys are. I've been looking all over the church for you.
You have?
For us?
Yeah, you guys have been with me there since February, through it all.
Yes, sir, we sure have. In fact, we were just talking about that.
No kidding, were you really? See, that's why I wanted to talk with you guys, because I know you guys are among the truly committed.
Who? Us? I'm not sure about that, Pastor.
Oh, absolutely. I knew you guys would be looking for how we can do something new, take this thing to a whole new level.
Something new? Yeah, that's exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah, something new.
No more Storybook Bible.
For real? Now we're talking.
And no more of those old famine skits.
No more Storybook Bible, no more old skits. Have I died and gone to heaven?
Oh, sir, you girls, I tell you what, we are going to do everything new from now on. So tell me, think about this now. When I say, as you did it unto one of these, the least of my brothers and sisters, who do you think of?
Jesus.
Right, and when I say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, who do you think of?
Jesus.
And when I say, love your neighbor as you love yourself, who do you think of?
Jesus.
And when you think of this 30-hour famine and how we're always talking about the least of these and doing unto others and loving your neighbor as yourself, who do you think of?
Jesus.
Exactly. So you have just about written the all-new skit for this year's famine.
We have.
You have, of course, the 30-hour famine. Every story whispers his name.